Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bystander at the News Stand today, Saturday, 15th of July, 2023. Here in the city of Lagos, Abiodun Jagun Street, Oba to be precise. My name is Ipob. Okay. I have with me our who has to stand by, Mr. Matthew, Mr. Charles, Mr. Rap, Mr. Pastor, and our whole life viewers like Gladys, Madam Gladys, Tunde, Mr. Tunde, Mr. Kayode, and every single one of you. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our link below. The headlines for today. I have with me Saturday Sun newspaper, and Saturday Tribune. Reading headlines from the Saturday Sun newspaper. Senators reps to spend 40 billion naira on SUVs. Akpabio, Abbas, Baru, Benjamin Kalu to get bulletproof of vehicles. 80 suspected cultists arrested in 4 months in Lagos. Illegal gold miners pollute Kogi SDP Guba candidate. NDLEA intercepts 863 kg laughing gas consignment at Lagos Port, Imo. Amnesty for Boko Haram bandits. Northern Group gives Tinubu 2-week optimum how FG can tackle renewed killings in North ENEF MBF. Southeast lost 4 trillion naira to sit at home in 2 years. Sit at home, stay off Yoruba land. Gani Adams wants Ipob is not Biafra. Adulterated aviation for threatens air safety. FG opens probe. Varsity to conduct pregnancy tests for students. Life is hard. I want to marry half my daughters, says beggars from Kano. Nigerians fear politicians will hijack $800 million palliative. Okay, and that's all I have for the headlines this morning. I'll be having Mr. Matthew now on the program to review the newspapers with us. Mr. Matthew, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Kofu.
You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Senators reps to spend 40 billion naira on SUVs. What's your review on that, sir?
My reaction is that Nigerian government, because of running governance, is too expensive, and that it is unnecessary spending that amount on senators and rep members. Because one thing is clear: if, like we are seeing on the page of the newspaper, that the city president will be riding on bulletproof car, and all the house members will get those exotic cars, it's going to show that they are not interested in the welfare of Nigerians. Because at the time you are talking about how to cushion the effect of subsidy removal of PMS on Nigerians, especially the vulnerable, the poorest of the poor, should not be the same time you are spending 40 billion on National Assembly members. Do not forget that yesterday, all the whole media space was awash with the news of National Assembly members getting 70 billion from the 819 billion supplementary budget that is meant for palliative. to cushion the effect of subsidy removal on PMS. So for me, I think it is getting to a point where Nigerians, we have no choice but to hit the streets in protest against all these anti-people spending by the government. Because for me, it's unnecessary the height of high-handedness and recklessness on the part of the government to, one, approve 70 billion for National Assembly members, and we are hearing another 40 billion for their vehicle and all that. Then I think we are in for trouble, except we stand up and resist it.
Okay. This is on about sit at home. Say off Yoruba land. Gani Adams wants IPOB.
Understand that we all know the dynamics of this country, Nigeria, and it is unthinkable that IPOB members will start giving order to perhaps people in the southwest to start observing sit at home. I don't think it will all go well for the country and everybody. So I think it's on that basis, because it doesn't matter how you look at it, southwest is Yoruba land. So if Gani Adams, who is Orane Kakanfo of Yoruba land, is speaking in that directive, in that his capacity as a warlord of Yoruba people, I think he's in order.
All right. Adulterated aviation fuel threatens air safety. FG opens probe.
If you have adulterated fuel and that has to do with jet fuel, I think it's proper. There should be proper investigation, because if you have adulterated fuel that vehicle uses, it is more, if you register damage or accident as a result of that, it may not be too colossal damage. But what it has to do with aircraft, if aviation fuel is adulterated, you need proper investigation and ensure that you don't get such adulteration fuel, jet fuel, into any aircraft. Because if it crashes in mid-air, the damage is going to be too much. Because how do you guarantee the safety of people on board? So it's something that government should give priority attention and serious attention to ensure that there's proper investigation so that they could nip any accident that may likely come in that direction in the bud.
Okay. Amnesty for Boko Haram bandits. Northern Grip gives Tinubu 2-week ultimatum. What's your comment on that?
Ultimatum to do what? Ultimatum. The issue is, I don't know what they are giving ultimatum to do, but I understand that as the president and the commander of the armed forces, it behoves on him to protect life and property. I'm equally aware that the section 14 of 1999 Constitution as amended says that the welfare of Nigerians and their security shall be the primary purpose of governance. So to that extent, I think it's unthinkable to start tinkering with the idea of federal government negotiating with bandits, criminals, terrorists. Whatever, I don't think there's any reasonable country that will start negotiating with bandits. There are circumstances you can negotiate. If perhaps some of your citizens are held captive, you negotiate their release. Not that holistically you are negotiating with them to lay down their arms, to start terrorizing citizens. I think what the president should do is to bring the sovereignty, the power of Nigeria as a sovereignty to bear, to use, deploy all the arsenal of Nigerian government, Nigerian army in our, all our armory in our arsenal against the bandits. Because under the last administration of Muhammadu Buhari, we spent about 459 million US dollar to buy 12 Tucano jets. And at the time, the government made us understand that it's going to be a game changer. And the predicament the military faced was that the bandits were not yet declared terrorists, since there's a condition attached to the aircraft that you can only use on terrorists. Now, hence, those bandits have been designated as terrorists. I think the military should avail themselves of that competitive advantage of those air platforms. Because whether you like it or not, I keep saying it, the Nigerian army have competitive advantage over the bandits, the terrorists, the criminals, and they are more formidable. So I think what is lacking is strategy and deployment of technology. For me, I don't know the nature of the ultimatum as I said, but for me, I think what is proper is that the federal government should quickly address the issue of insecurity. Because if you look at it, all the area of government intervention in terms of government talking about emergency and security in food sector cannot achieve any success under the atmosphere of insecurity. So the president, as the commander of the armed forces, have a responsibility to address this issue quickly as possible, as quickly as possible.
Okay. Illegal gold miners pollute Oshun Oshogbo, Oyo, Ogun rivers with deadly chemicals.
It's quite unfortunate that you have people coming to the country without the consent and approval of the government, going to the communities and start mining solid mineral. It's a regular occurrence in Nigeria. In Zamfara, we have heard so much news and rumor about how foreign nationals infiltrate into the country, collaborate and synergize with the locals and start mining solid mineral. And these are minerals that is the resources of the country. And the way the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is structured, any natural resources found anywhere belongs to Nigerian sovereign states. So if any government, state government, any local government, any personal, private citizen is collaborating with any corporate organization, whether individual or foreign or whatever nature, is illegal. And I think the federal government should come hard on them. Because if you are coming in, you are not just doing it illegally, you are not polluting the water. The people living in the environment are exposed to hazard associated with the mining. So for me, because if government come in and you are giving license and you are mining according to what best practices, there are some what best practices that should put in place that will ensure that people in the vicinity where you are mining are not exposed to hazard. So those hazards, and when it happens, somebody should be made to pay compensation. But especially where they are mining illegally, and we are not seeing hazard associated with it. So for me, I think the government should come in and be strict on them.
All right. Life is hard. I want to marry half my daughters, says beggar from Kano. What's your comment?
It depends on whether daughters he wants to marry or are of marriage age. It's not clear. I've not read it. But the issue is, I'm aware that in the northern part of there is so much situation where children that are all this way.
Sorry about the break in transmission.
So talking about a beggar in is it Kaduna? Kano married off his daughters. The issue is, it depends on whether his daughters he want to marry off, whether they are of age or underage. But I'm aware that is a common practice in the north that northerners marry off their children before marrying age. So if that is the situation, I think it should be discouraged. Because I have a first-hand information on that. Haven't served in Jigawa State to be precise. I've seen how children that are not of marriage age are made to bear children. I've seen instances where children who are supposed to be married approach a court and ask court to dissolve the marriage because
I think that's very common in the Kano.
It's not just Kano, Kaduna, so in the north general. So there was even a time a popular senator got married to an underage, and the thing raised so much issue. So for me, I think it should be discouraged, and the authorities, the government, should move in to save the life of those children. Because one, those children may not know what it takes to bear children, and you expose them to such. For me, it's child abuse. And speaking speculatively, because it's not clear whether his children he want to marry off, the daughters are underage. And said if they're underage.
All right, this is actually outside, but what's your take on early marriage?
It depends on what you call early marriage. If the person is 18 years and above, if the person is of because that's why I say it depends on what you call early marriage. If the person is an adult, and the person decides to marry and is with the guest consent, I don't think there's an issue there.
Once the person is 18 years.
When the person is of age. But that's why I
18
say it
years.
depends on what you call early marriage. There's a difference between early marriage and underage marriage. Once the person is of 18 and above and is with the person consent, you cannot call it abuse any longer. But if the person is below 18, and of course that is underage, so it could be early because the person is marrying early. Because once a guy attains 18, 19, 20, and from there, the person can get married. And the person is married at the age of maybe 35, you can say it's late, and so on and so forth. But what I'm trying to say is, I think there's a difference between early marriage and underage marriage. And I don't think there's anything wrong with early marriage. What is wrong is underage marriage.
Okay. Nigerians, fair politicians, we hijack $800 million palliative. What's your comment on that? Just like we had discussed yesterday too about
I think it's a genuine fear. I equally have that fear. Because where you have a situation where the governors, sorry, not the governors anyway, the National Assembly members are getting approval of 70 billion as palliative is worrisome. We were here in this country under COVID-19 lockdown where we had palliative men for the vulnerable, for the poor, being stored in storehouses, being rolled out to be sold by the privileged ones who were given the opportunity to manage it. So in the same vein, it's quite difficult to believe that anything that being managed by Nigerian government will be properly managed. So I have that genuine fear. I equally have that fear.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Matthew. That will be all. I'll be having Mr. Charles now on the program.
Good morning.
You're welcome to the program this morning. The midline this morning is senators reps to spend 40 billion naira on SUVs. What's your comment?
Well, SUV, that is car, right? They want to buy new cars for themselves. Senators. That is what we see every day. Based on the 5 billion naira that was brought in place by the federal government, that they want to use as palliative. Now, what was on ground now is that senators reps to spend 40 billion naira on SUV. Now, this 40 billion naira, when you look at this 40 billion naira, you're talking about money that can issue, money can be put, that money that can be put in a particular something that can even help out some people, bring out some citizens, Nigerian individuals from out of poverty. But now, we are talking about 40 billion naira that the senators want to use only to purchase their personal cars. You see, meaning that these people, what they are after is nothing but their own selfish interest. What do you mean by 40 billion naira? After 500 billion naira was mapped out by the Federal Republic of Nigeria that they want to use it to, as in for a palliative. And they subdivided this money into two. That 12 million Nigerians will get like 8,000 naira each. About 70 billion naira will go for the member, House of Reps and Senate, right? Now, and another, when you plus 40 billion plus 70 billion naira, you know how much we are talking about. Well, that is to tell you that the country, the kind of individuals, the kind of people we have been putting in place, as in the so-called politicians, they do not have you and I off heart. What they are after is their own selfish interest. You want a 40 billion naira for your SURV. Meanwhile, we have SUVs. Meanwhile, we have average Nigerian that cannot even smell ordinary a cup of rice a day. Well, all I will say here is that I believe and I know that posterity is only God that will judge. Because as long as it stands, these people, what they are after is, during the election, they will come to you, begging you, vote for me, do this for me. Even a lot of them will even decide to even portray on the ground, simply because they want to be that kind of humble before you, so that at the end of the day, you will vote for them. Now, after voting for them, believe me, you don't even know their whereabouts anymore. We are talking about 40 billion naira, not even 40,000 naira, not even 4,000 naira. but 40 billion naira that somebody wants to use to purchase a car. Do you want to tell me that most of these senators, most of these reps members do not have an expensive cars in their houses? What do they want to use 40 billion naira again to do? Meanwhile, the country is full of hunger. There's hungers in the land. There's hungers emanating, going through, as in when you talk about hunger, Nigerian people are hungry. The only country whereby people will be suffering and smiling. It is very, very unfair. It is not fair because most of things that they are doing to us in this country, they look at it as if we are nothing but common people in the country. But let's forget about history. Because I am not the kind of somebody that will just come here every day and talk about history. We should be talking about the present things that is happening presently. You want to use 40 billion naira to purchase SUV cars. For what? For what ground? On what ground? On what basis? Meanwhile, a lot of family, a lot of children have dropped out from school. A lot of children cannot even go in. A lot of people are going in hunger every now and then. They go in without food. Somebody cannot even pay his or her own school fees. Somebody cannot look at. There's no job out there. That's what I keep on emphasizing every day. There's no job. This 40 billion naira can build you a little company in this country that you can even help in terms of what the reduction of unemployment in Nigeria.
All right. There's a comment from Mr. Hifind. He said the amount is 400 billion naira, not 40 billion naira.
Look at it now. But what we have on paper here is 4 billion,
Yeah.
40 billion, not 400 billion. I can
Okay.
even show it to you here for you to see it. We are talking about 40 billion here. But I don't
All right.
know, maybe you are right, Mr. Ifeanyi. You are right, because even this 40 billion naira to them, when you table this thing before the the senators and the House of Reps, they will look at it as if it's even too small. I believe that another O should be added to it because they just feel and they want to just finish us in this country because they don't even regard us as anything.
All right. Let's move on. Life is hard. I want to marry off my daughter, says beggar from Kano. What's your comment on that, sir?
Well, that is exactly what we are saying here. There's hunger in the land. Could you just imagine? A few days ago, a man in Benin here sold down his 3 kids for 1.5 million naira just because he said that he borrowed money from somebody. He collected a loan from a particular individual that he could not be able to pay out that loan. He had to sell out his children. Now, look at the one now that life is hard, that I want to marry off my daughters, says a beggar from Kano. That is to tell you that the truth of the matter here in this country, the politicians are not helping matters anymore. The politicians are not helping matters anymore. What are we talking about? A lot of individuals, a lot of persons, a group of individuals are not doing the right things, like being a politician. You are here trying to put things together. Now, a man from Kano who is a beggar, when you go to Agege, when you go to almost all the streets in Lagos, you find out that there's beggars all over. For this man to have opened up his mouth and tell you that he wants to sell out, he wants to marry off his daughter, it means that he has seen hell. It means that he has seen a lot of things that even the commonest man in the even the politician thinks they have the money they cannot even see because they do not even. Do you know that most of these politicians don't even know what you and I are facing? They are not, because these are people that are moving in expensive cars, they stay in an expensive house, they eat a very neutralized food. They travel abroad, first class plane, all those things. But a man, look at a man who cannot even afford 1 square meal a day, telling you that he wants to sell off his daughter. What a country! What have brought us to this extent in this country? What exactly are the politicians doing towards this? If at all, these politicians, the money they keep on spending every now and then, every morning, if at all the money they keep on spending every now and then, they would have put it in place to build, even though it's a little company. Instead of leaving only one man, he said Dangote is the richest man in Africa. If there's no support from the government, if the government are not even supportive to him, give a lot of Ipob people, give a lot of Yoruba people, give a lot of Benin people from Benin, give them the opportunity you are giving to this Dangote for the federal, so-called federal government, you find out that a lot of companies will stand, a lot of people, a lot of different companies will come in existence, and people people will do what? At the end of the day, people will do what? That will be what we call reduction of unemployment, because a lot of companies would have been putting in place by different people. But a country whereby only few individuals have been given the right to do such. But what are we talking about? It is not fair. A man saying that he wants to sell off his daughter. When you look at it, my dear, what kind of oppression, what kind of thing would that man be, what kind of thing would that man be undergoing that even warranted him to come to a press and saying something like that he wants to sell off his daughter? He wants to sell off his daughter because of what? Money, hardship, everywhere. A country whereby they are, they cannot even look at you. Most of these politicians, do you know that I said it here, that they can only recognize you only when they want something from you. Even if you want them to portray, even if you want them to give you heaven and earth, as long as they are in a position to get whatever they want to achieve from you, once they have gotten it, you don't know them anymore. 40 billion naira. This young man that is crying in Kano, do you know that you have a lot of people in this country that you can give them ordinary 100,000 naira and they will turn it into millions? But what are we seeing? We are seeing a country whereby most of these politicians, they are not even after you and I. What they are after is their own selfish interest. What they are after, how many houses do you have in London? How many houses do you have in UK? How many houses do you have in Dubai? But a lot of us here cannot even afford our house rent. Look at Lagos here. The house rent is at a high increase every now and then. Go to market. How much is a pint of Gary? You cannot. You cannot. How much is a pint of Gary here? How much is okay now? 500 billion naira was mapped out by the Federal Republic of Nigeria that they want to do what? They want to share about 12 million this into the poor masses as a palliative. You ask yourself, when you subdivide that 12, we are talking about 250 naira per day. How much is a cup? How much is ordinary Maggi in Nigeria? How much can you buy a piece of Maggi cube in Nigeria? How much is a pint of rice? How much is open border so that a lot of people, food will start coming in? And what you call price control. You cannot go to market. I was talking to somebody yesterday. He said he went to Ketu market here. Because when you go to Ketu market, that's where you see yam. Thank God, Minister of Yam is here. That's where you see yam. At Ketu, you see tomato. My 12, and Ketu. Now, do you know that this guy said he went to Ketu just to purchase something? He went there with 25,000 naira. When he bought everything, he reached home. The wife was even quarreling with him that it's not true that what he bought was even up to that 25,000 naira. So at the end of the day, what happened? They have to move. A lot of, as thank God, there were two in number that went to that place to buy. They called the second person. They said, yeah, that is 25,000 naira, everything you are seeing here. That is to tell you that the money, there's nothing like control in this country anymore. Control price, open border, 40 billion naira for members of the House of Senate. A man crying that he wants to sell off his daughter. He wants to sell off his children. This is, when you look at it, the crime is highly, maybe the daughter we are talking about might not even she might not be up to 15 to 16 years. But because of poverty, because of whatever the man is going through, he might decide that he wants to sell off his daughter so that there will be food in the house. Or probably he might even decide to go in, maybe sell the daughter to a man. Probably maybe every morning he will go to the house and say, I want to eat because of food. I have seen a lot of cases like that. A woman in one of the states in Nigeria, I wouldn't want to mention name, went to, simply because she don't have money to buy food, she have to drop her child. That she want to do what? That they should give her food. That in place of her daughter, at a point, maybe the daughter should be working for them. Then when they have agreed on the amount, then they have to put in place how many months or how many days will the girl work for the woman. So that was the level of poverty we are experiencing in this country. But living in a country whereby only thing you are after is your own selfish interest. The only thing they are after is just to look at you and I and look at us as if, okay, yesterday there was a crime in Plateau State. that most of these refugee camps, there's no money, there's no food. What happened to refugee camp when you go to most of these refugees camp in Italy, so many places in Western world, Western countries, you find out that it's a place whereby you find, even when you see a refugee, you looked at him as if he is even one of the bank managers in Nigeria, because they eat well, they clothe well. People come in and out to do what? To give them food. People come in and out to drop things for them by their government. But what is our government doing? Busy doing nothing. What they are after? They are crying, dying in hunger. The essence of refugee camp is just for them to bring you together, put you in place so that you will have a lot of things to eat. And maybe probably forget what happens to you. Maybe you are fatherless, maybe you are motherless, maybe you are childless. Maybe probably after bringing you together, they will put you in place so that you will be able, that memory of losing your loved one will not be there anymore. A little bit, not that you don't remember, but a little. What will you do? They will put you in place so that at least you have, from time to time, you will be coming up with some sensitivity in you that maybe you have lost your loved one, but that's no problem. But the government of Nigeria, they are not doing anything about it. All they are after, every day, senator share money, senator do this, senator does that, senator does that. Ordinary a newspaper of a senator in Nigeria can position the life of a poor man in Nigeria. Some group of person will now look at you and say school is a scam in Nigeria. That is why you find out that crime is at a high increase in Nigeria. There's a lot of crime going on in Nigeria. Why? You schooled, you went for an interview, you went to this place. At the end of the day, you are talented enough, but that talent was not meant to be used by the so-called company because of segregation and nepotism that is being mounted in most of these Nigerian companies. So it's very, very bad. The government should do things about it. I am expecting the government of this Ahmed Bola Tinubu to put in place open border, so that even go to market, there should be price control, so that at the end of the day, people will be able to buy food. As in, when you go to market, even if it's 5,000 naira, you can be able to afford whatever you want to eat with your family. But a country whereby what we are seeing is just opposite of what we are expecting is very, very bad. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Charles. The main headline is senators, reps to spend senators, House of Representatives to spend 40 billion naira on SUVs. It is 40 billion naira and not 400 billion naira as shown on the screen. That is a typing mistake. Good morning, Mr. Lucky.
Good morning. How are you?
Good to have you on the program this morning.
Let me first thank our brother who are watching us, and we too, who come every day to tell the world what is happening in our country. And thank you, my brother who are watching it, my brothers and sisters all over. I greet you this morning. May God bless you as you are watching us. Thank you. I empower the management of TV too. God bless them. Now, 40 billion, my brother, my sister. I feel like crying for this country. I feel like weeping. It's like we are just talking. Talk is cheap. We cry. Both for national TV, Facebook, internet. It's like the people we voted for, they are not even listening to us. They are not even care about us. Are you getting me? They do anything they like. And be Tinubu, who is coming from poor background for before he become billionaires or trillionaires. And God have given you mandate. If it's true, and you are there, we expect you to change this. We expect the masses to be happy. And what we are hearing, Akpabio that's already a billionaire, you are still mapping out 40 billion for them to buy bulletproof car. Is it not a shameful thing? Where students, my daughter, my son, they are at home now. They can't pay school fees. They are at home. Now you are mapping out 40 billion for them to buy bulletproof car for few people. My sister, as sad, it's a very shameful thing. I did not expect this. Now you map out 500 billion for 12 million Nigerians. who are poor. They say few people are poor. Who told you that? Well, I checked. Only 10% enjoy our wealth in Nigeria. Go to Lekki, Abuja. Simply they are telling us that go and die. That's why you see a man will sit without eating, collapse. And the highest thing we have in Nigeria is sickness, ulcer. Everybody, ulcer. Ulcer. Go to hospital, ulcer. Because you can't eat well. Doctor say go and eat. You map out 280 naira, 286 naira per day. Say you want to pay the 8,000 naira per month. If you times it, it's 260 naira, 68 naira. What would I want to buy? Water. You drink water and sleep. So don't forget Akpabio did not win election. Don't forget Akpabio was under probe, under Niger Delta money. The money made for Niger Delta to develop Niger Delta. Akpabio becomes snake and it may swallow the money. It's on probe. Now it's a Senate president. And Tinubu went and still map out 40 billion for 4 of them to buy bulletproof. When dead come, pick Abacha. When dead come, pick Yaradua. When dead come, pick AIT man. They put bulletproof in their house and dead pick them. Whoever in government want to turn Nigeria to poverty state, I want to make us to be suffering. Where the money is there, may those there who visit those people visit them in Jesus' name. God, that topic. Amen.
All right. Stay off Yoruba land. Gani Adams wants Ipob.
Somebody just called me for interview now concerning that, and we really get it tough in that place. We really tough. It was a very tough decision and argument. You see, I don't know why Adam responded to all this. This I don't know why. Do you know what caused fight between Iraq and US during George Bush time? Because of talk, mouth. Say it. If Samuel Egba is saying that the Igbos should continue to stay at home for 7 days in Lagos, I am telling you, most of them will not obey. Cannot obey in Southeast. Because most of these are brothers who are in Lagos. They come to look for what they will eat. I get me. For Adam to be responding to Samuel Egba that the Igbo in the Biafra should not do that in Lagos State, it doesn't make anything. For me, I will not respond because Lagos is a multi-dimension where you have different ethnicity, different language, different people. You have Hausa, Edos, Yorubas, Togo, Ghana, all tribes in Lagos State. You can't ask them to close shop. And Igbos and Yorubas, we are missed now. That's what I mean. We are one, we do business together. You don't ask them to close shop. But for Adam to say, bring in this language, you see there's going to be response to him on Monday. A lot of, like the Igbo people, elders, or the Niger Delta's elders, or some of the Yoruba elders, don't bring this in. Because by the time you bring this in, by the time they respond back to you, it's going to be something else. Like this, the Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker tried to bring a law, review law, indige or no indige. It doesn't necessary for me. Not necessary. Bringing all these things, there's going to be attack. I get me. Before you know, you are waking a snake that is sleeping. And we don't need all this now. We are one. What we need now is for us to come together. And welcome the way all this language they are saying, we can use it against this government. Carry this language to Tinubu or those people. All the 40 billions, all this money they are mapping. This is what I expect. Not say IPOB should not do, that is their own. IPOB did not just start today. IPOB cannot tell the Lagosians what to do. I get me in Lagos. Can't tell all the Igbo to stay home and they will agree. No. We still have some Igbo in Southeast who don't like this stay indoor. And I watch paper now and they say they are losing 4 trillion in just 2 years. And if they map of that to 4 trillion, it can do something in the Southeast. I get me. It can do something in the Southeast. Killing brothers, killing this, it doesn't make sense. I am not, that have to be stopped. I expect Tinubu to call the leader, release the leader of IPO, release the IPO leader, sit down and ask them, and ask what's the problem? What do you want? Release the man, obey court order, and see, Nigeria will come back to one again. We don't need to fight. We don't need to kill ourselves. I get to be. Holding that man is wrong. Holding him is wrong. Court have given it. Release the man, and you disobey. And Tinubu should not follow that man. Don't forget Tinubu, according to him, he said he's a Democrat. And I believe he should use that Democrat to make sure Nigerians, one, we don't kill ourselves, we don't fight. That is my own submission in this language. Gani Dam don't need. You don't need all this. We don't need it. We don't need it. That's my own submission.
All right. Life is hard. I want to marry off my daughter, says beggar from Kano.
Now, you can see life is hard. For this man to come out and say it, a lot of them have done that. Including me. I've been frustrated. I won't tell you lie. Auntie, we are frustrated. We know some of our brothers have been helping us. The only help we get is from our side. Nigeria don't care for you. Your government don't care for you. When it comes for election, you see, I blame the people. I blame us. I blame the people. I'm among. But I'm doing my own here every day. How many Nigerians can stand here? How many Nigerians will come here and stand here and open mouth and talk? Even that 8,000, some people are still happy. What would 8,000 do for a month? You want to transport, you want to buy fuel, you want to recharge light. Now, for somebody to say want to sell his marriage, his daughter away, thank God he did not say want to sell them. Do you know how many Nigerians have sold their daughter, sold their children, just to feed? Who want to die? Who want to go to hospital? I get me. I came all the way from here to this place, no transport. I work with leg to make sure to come and talk today. No transport. If I'm going home now, no transport to go back home. So, and that what is happening. So we need to put our government. We need to come out. I get me. We need to come out and send a signal to our government, to Tinubu, who is there now. Not this IPOP, Canada, this in exchanging word. We don't need that. What we need now is to send a signal to Tinubu that since he came in, Nigeria have become down, sort of, we moving forward. Things are hard. Things are hard. People are selling their children. People are selling their part. Hook up is everywhere. Ashawo, everybody. Now, you don't know who is who again. People, no vehicle outside. Before you said you want to, the poor people to enjoy, the big man won't enjoy it. You gave 70 billion to National Assembly. For how many people? You gave 500 billion for 12 million Nigerians. And the 5 billion, when you hear 50 billion, when you hear 500 billion now, you think really Nigeria will get it. The politicians will still share it. So, I hear me, we are dying. The only thing is for us to come out. You hear me? It's for us to come out and let the government that we are suffering. We can't continue like this. Otherwise, you'll be seeing dead body every road. in house, every corner. People be selling their children. Just this way, the man comes saying, I want to marry my daughter. I don't know the age. Those daughter, it might be 10 years, it might be 12 years. To all this slavery, it's a slavery. Because they are not up to. If they are up to, he will come out and tell Nigerians, I want to marry my daughter out because of hunger. All of us are hungry. I don't understand me. We are not living well. That's why I told you, the highest sickness in Nigeria now is ulcer. Second one is malaria. Nobody cares for us. Tinubu, the way it's going, I don't think Nigeria is happy with him. Please, open border. As they say, let the border be open so that rice can come in. We don't say they should not plant. There's no way they can plant now. The years is gone. Look at yam. Look at everything. Are very expensive. Tomatoes. I don't know. 3 tomatoes, 500 naira. Albasa. Yam. As a minister of yam, I don't see. I've seen new yam. We're supposed to be seeing new yam here. I get me. So I believe that we need to come out and shout, and shout, and shout, and scream, so that the government can listen to us. Not all this IPOB, Adam, attacking themselves. They have eating, they have money, they have everything, so they can talk and cause problem for Nigeria.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Lucky. I'll be having Mr. Raf now on the program.
Yeah, Kufu, how are you doing?
Good morning, sir.
So you can see the cloud is thickening up.
Yeah.
It's getting black and you know what Lagos is. Lagos is a state with aquatic splendor. Don't write it off today that there must be a heavy downpour. So we're gonna wrap it up. Let me go to my normal business.
All right. The main headline this morning is Senators, House of Representatives to spend 40 billion naira on SUVs.
SUVs is just SUV Jeep. It's not the paramount thing in Nigeria now. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be what will be called prevailing issue in Nigeria now. Buying SUV Jeep for the lawmakers. That shouldn't be, that's a paramount thing. We had many issues. We had many prevailing issues in Nigeria now. The fuel subsidy has reduced every Nigerian to zero. To fear God will not allow that one. 40 billion naira worth of Jeep for the lawmakers. I don't know. Tinubu is very, very clueless. He has no direction at all. This man just came in from the back door. He burst the back door, the window, and what? Enter the house. See, let me tell you, Tinubu is not meant well for all of us. That money is enough to pump it into the economy. That money is enough to dredge River Niger so that the trade between Europe, America, and other foreign countries and Nigeria will be moving on well. To dredge One, to dredge Warri Seaport, to dredge Uyo, 40 billion naira is enough. Why using that money to buy cars for the lawmakers? See, let me tell you, these lawmakers are car freaks, and their salaries are enough for them to buy any automobile of their choice. What I'm trying to say is that 40 billion naira should be channeled to the right direction so that common man, the low levels, poor men in Nigeria will not just die. There are many things that 40 billion naira should be channeled to. Why not adding it up to the palliative so that the money will be more than 8,000? Why not using that 40 billion to what? Erect infrastructural amenities, infrastructural institutions. Why not using that 40 billion naira to build employment facilities whereby the non-graduates, undergraduates, and the graduates will work? They will have something to leverage on after leaving school. Why are we buying Jeep, SUV Jeep for the lawmakers? I don't know why no Nigerian president has ever entered Aso Rock and be with his senses. Let me tell you, after the institution of that presidential villa, the home of Nigerian president is called what? Aso Rock. Abi? See, let me tell you, after they might have built Aso Rock, I think they put something there that is only a true worshiper of God, a true Christian, could escape it. Immediately you enter Aso Rock, your brain will turn upside down. See, Tinubu brain has turned upside down. What Tinubu is doing now is quite senseless. Oil subsidy instantly without saying, good morning, how are you guys doing? Tinubu entered there. Immediately he stepped into that office, oil subsidy, removal. People started suffering. Now, Tinubu is talking about 40 billion naira what? Cost for SUV. Jeep, is it good? Is car everything? Does Nigeria manufacture pencil? Someone made that car for reasons. Yes, Uber. If you fix all these expensive cars in Europe and America on Uber, taxi, you make money. It generates money. Nigerian man does not manufacture razor. He buys SUVs worth of 40 million. That SUV is packed at home. It does not generate 10 kobo every year. The Jeep is parked at your home. You don't use the Jeep for Uber. You don't use the Jeep for taxi. You are a foolish Nigerian public officers. These our lawmakers, they are car freaks. Tinubu should not spend that money on that. I disagree with that. 40 billion wasted. See, let me tell you, that's SUV. In the next 3 years, it will get out of fashion. In the next 3 years, Kufo, that SUV Jeep will get out of fashion. It will waste away. The cost will reduce. Use that 40 billion, erect industries, production companies, employ Nigerian graduates, employ the youths. They should have something to leverage on. They should work in the companies whereby every hour they receive salaries. Why spending 40 billion on lawmakers? Monkish idea. It has shown that we are a republic of apes. All our public office holders, they are nothing but what? Extravagant dudes. Extravagant apes. They spend money anyhow. They don't know that money you spend today on luxury does not worth anything tomorrow. You bought G-Wagon, you bought SUV, Jeep. Tomorrow, the value goes down. In Madison there, GM Motors. Go to Connecticut and Chicago, you see many automobile companies there. They are molding another one that is better than those SUV. Those SUV will become useless in 3 years' time. The more you buy, the more automobile companies produce more exotic, sophisticated cars. The one you bought today, the value deviates, goes down. I'm telling you, I'm not in support of these SUVs. The whole lawmakers in Nigeria, they are all spending thrift idiots, extravagant animals. They are using this just for driving while Nigerians are dying of hunger. Do you know what is going on after subsidy removal in Nigeria now? Nigerians cannot afford food to eat. Nigerians cannot afford food to eat. And listen to me, Kufo, I disagree with buying SUV, Jeep, worth of 40 billion for lawmakers. I disagree. It can never go a long way with me. It can never go well with me. See, the salaries we are giving ordinary civil servants from local government level to factory workers is not up to 35,000 naira per, basic salary. They are begging you, they're asking you for that. For how many years now? Now you are trying to go and buy Jeep, worth of billions. I disagree, Kufo. I don't agree with that. Tinubu should not do that. Now, I have known that actually Tinubu is so clueless. People that are all around Tinubu, they are all vultures. They don't give him good advice. They have not even seen the antecedents of Buhari, the shortcomings of Buhari. Where Buhari has got it wrong. All these Tinubu advisors could not learn from there. They are not good technocrats. I blame them, not even Tinubu.
All right. Moving on. Stay off Yoruba land. Gani Adams wants Ipob say Southwest is not Biafra.
The IPOB coming to Yoruba land. Gani Adams has not read the news well. It was a previous propagandum that was confusing Gani Adams. It's a propagandum that the IPOB are coming to Southwest so that Igbo and Yoruba will clash. See, let there be no repetition of what happened in 1967 when Biafran soldiers were marching towards Lagos to meet alliance with Awolowo. And Awolowo will bring another allegation that we are coming to attack Yoruba land, especially on those states. See, I don't want it to be like that. See, somebody has been trying to orchestrate war between Igbo and Yorubas over the years in the southwest, and that person is Tinubu. When there was a trouble at Legito Gate shooting, Tinubu alleged that it was IPOB. When the whole Nigerians wake up in 2020 against police brutality across Nigeria, north, east, west, Tinubu alleged that it was orchestrated by Nnamdi Kanu. While Nnamdi Kanu has nothing to do with that. It was police brutality. What SAS, under the leadership, under the watch of Abba Kyari, the Super Cup, that was what orchestrated and SAS crisis across Nigeria. It's not IPOB, it's not Nnamdi Kanu. But somebody has been trying to fuel the fire of enmity, hostility between the Yorubas and the Igbo. That person is Tinubu. I'm telling you that Igbos has been using diplomacy to make sure that they live in peace with their Yoruba brothers in the southwestern Nigeria. Right from 1990, when they had clash with Aboru at Lagos Island, we've been managing ourselves. No matter what you do us here, we are here. We are your friends, we are your brother. Tinubu has been trying this for a very long time. Let me tell you, no IPOB member is coming to Southwest. We have enough land in the Southeast. The whole South belongs to Igbo man. The whole coastal line from Bight of Guinea to Bight of Bonny here, which is from former Bende State back to where? Oyo, Calabar. That is where we call Bight of Bonny. We are all living in peace, and we are the Igbos. We never fight any of our brothers. We don't do that. See, let me tell you, Gani Adam should go school. Gani Adam lack education. I'm not satisfied with the fact that they said they sent him to school. That man is still committing some blunders. He should do his homework well. He must know that Nnamdi Kanu is his brother, that Igbos here are his brothers.
Okay.
I listen to me. Kanu is his brother. Simon Ekpa has never threatened Southwest for one day. No Biafran man has never gone against Yoruba man one day. The Biafrans in the Southeast, they marry with Yoruba. Yoruba strangers visit us there. They marry our daughters. We are together with them. Gani Adam should go home and do his.
All right, let's move on. Adulterated aviation fuel threatens air safety. FG opens probe. What's your comment?
Adulterated aviation fuel threatens. Okay, aviation fuel, if you ask me, is just more or less, what do you call it? Gasoline. It's too light. So if it happens like that, if it threatens FCT, well, there are appropriate departments that should go and do the investigation well to know the sources of all this fuel, aviation fuel, from where it comes, from where it leaked out, from who is bringing it in. Are you listening to me? It is not something you should bring out to public opinion. At least we have National Security Advisor, EFCC, former EFCC Chairman, Rebadu. These are the things, the works he should do. Yes, it's part of security, watch. He should have taken up that hurdle and make sure that he thrives well. He does it well. So let me tell you, aviation fuel in Abuja threats does not concern any common man. It is left for the government to do their work well. Yes, there are petrochemical engineers. There are many security advisors to Tinubu. Are you listening to me? The soldiers, the military are there, the police. They should do their homework well, and find out where the leakage is coming from. So let me tell you, you know what? I don't believe on this news. Aviation fuel threatening FCT residents or whatever. They should do their work needful. This thing shouldn't be complained now. What thing concern me now? I did not read the biochemical or whatever in the university. Then again, I'm not National Security Advisor to Mr. President. The DSS should go on the field, on the road, everywhere in Abuja. They should conduct the investigation and know from where this leakage is coming from. Who is bringing it in? Who is the person sabotaging? I didn't understand. So, if aviation fuel is a threat to Abuja residents, that's the news.
All right.
It's the news.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raf. Good morning, Mr. Good morning.
Good morning. I am
Program.
I am Mr. Okpara, the new Okoko in this Second Republic of Biafra. Lead by Mazin Namdi Kano and his happy government of Biafra. Thank you.
Okay. The main headline this morning is Senators, House of Representatives to spend 40 billion naira on SUVs. Senators, House of Representatives to spend 40 billion naira on SUVs. What's your comment?
This is what I tell you. That the people we elect them for themselves, not for the people. Look at it. 40 billion naira for what? For luxurious life, for them to live. And the masses that vote them, they do not put them in account. When they look at this one for themselves, how many people? Then they will give out 266 naira per day, which is only one buns, one egg roll. One egg roll. A bottle of Coca-Cola or Pepsi is 200 naira. A bottle they give us in a day. How many family will drink it? How many number of people will drink it? And now they're giving themselves billions of naira. With that man, even the Akpabio, the money he took, salary and allowances when he was governor, is it not enough for him? The money as a Niger Delta Development, whatever, is it not enough for him? There as a chairman, is it not enough for him? Now they are still allocating to themselves. What are they going to use this money to do? Will they carry it to heaven? If any of them die, will they be buried with that money? I mean, this is Nigeria we are in, where the masses are not put in account. Where nobody regard the masses. Only on the election day, they will fool us with one bag, 1 cup of Gani, 1 cup of beans, 1 cup of rice.
But we Nigerians keep accepting everything they bring.
Because we have no choice. We have no choice. And Nigeria is under spell. We Nigerians are under spell. They have cast spell on us. Whatever they say, we accept it. In any condition they put us, we accept it.
So why are we complaining?
People like me are the one that complain, not people, not everybody. People like me who knows the truth. People like me who stand for justice. And they've never allowed people like me to be there. Because they know that I will change things. This is what the problem P2B is having.
If you become the president of Nigeria for a day, what would you do?
First,
what would you do first?
If I become the president of Nigeria a day is not enough. What have happened in Nigeria? 100 years cannot be able to solve it. But what I will do is to lay the foundation. I will lay a good foundation. That whosoever will succeed me, if you stand on the truth, you will continue building on the truth.
All right then. Thank you very much, sir.
I am Mr. Okpara, the new Okoko, this Second Republic of Biafra. Live by Mazin Namdi Kano and his IPOB government of Biafra. Long live IPOB. Long live Simon Ekpa, IPOB autopilot.
Awesome. All right. Good morning, Mr. Kule. Good to have you on the program.
Hello, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah.
The main headline is Senators, House of Representatives to spend 40 billion naira on SUVs. What's your comment on that?
On what?
SUVs. 40 billion naira on SUVs.
Oh, wow. What a country. SUVs, 40 billion naira. I mean, why can't they divert all this money? These guys are rich already. These guys, they can sustain themselves already. So why all this punishment on the masses? Mind you, that 40 billion is not the money. It doesn't belong to them alone. It's the masses' money. It's you and I money. The money belongs to the citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Why are these people oppressing us? I think the House of Rep, or what's it called? What they call them? They should have a rethink of what they're about to do now, because they plunged the country into poverty. They plunge the people into poverty. With that money, they are using to buy SUV, just a machine. Once you buy that SUV, you ride it for a day. The value that the car is devalued. So why can't you invest that money on humanity, that you will see the results on them. You know, so to me, I think Nigeria, Nigerian senators, what's it called, House of Rep, are the most luxury, senators I can talk of, because I was shocked that we always get pride in buying SUV, buying all these expensive cars. To show what? They'll look at you riding expensive cars. How are your children? How are they living? What's their standards of living? And you'll be happy driving SUV. You go abroad too, you stay in the best hotel. The white men that are your landlord, they'll be looking at you. Look at these fools. They have nothing in their country. Poverty has ravaged their country. They are still coming there to show off. So to me, all these people should have a rethink. If it is innocent car, they will go and buy. Let them go and buy innocent car, so that they can show it as a pride of Nigeria, right? Instead of all this SUV, you know, instead of one SUV, buying SUV, and a car, an SUV vehicle, one of the SUV vehicle alone, you'll be talking of 60 million, 80 million, 100 million. So why not they not divert that money into innocent, or the Proforce, the guy that manufacture bulletproof cars in Ijebu Remo there? They should divert that money there, so that we can save ourselves a lot of money we don't have. And likewise, about the 80,000, I will be glad if the government can increase that money to 15,000, because the what can 8,000 buy in this present dispensation of Nigeria? And I'm appealing, the money is there. The money that is there for this House of Rep people to be buying SUV, the money should be there for the government to cushion the effects of the masses that are suffering.
Okay, that's all I have for you, Mr. Kule, this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have come to the end of today's program. It's really raining heavily here. Anyways, it's still bystander at the newsstand. And in case you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me on Instagram at Duro_Timike, DURO_TIMIKAY. I would appreciate you all suggestions, reviews, and comments. Okay, we would have to end the program now. I see you all on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.